go along. But I was talking today, Grace, to that woman, Therese Duke. She was in the Herald yesterday. Taylor and I have been trying to get her on the show for a while. She got punched in the face the night before the protests. She was down in Washington. She worked at the UMass Medical Center Hospital. It's a private company that runs the hospital, and she got punched in the face, and she had a terrible nosebleed. It's horrible to be hit in the face in the nose. And when she got back, her daughter doxed her and posted it and said, "Hey, you gave me crap about going to a Black Lives Matter rally, and you went to this thing, and you got hurt, and I didn't get hurt." So she got fired from a job. And I talked to her today, Grace. I was trying to get her on. She had that job for 15 years.
Wow.
15. When are they going to do a puff? But what kind of ice cream does Therese Duke like to eat? When's she going to get a puff piece about her playlist? Well, what kind of dog does Therese Duke have? Does she have a rescue dog?
Not to take it too far, but I read a story last week, and it was about kind of the new woke curriculum that a lot of these schools are doing. And there was one in Cupertino, California, and they were teaching all these third graders about their intersectionality and all this stuff. And one of the parents was very familiar with communism and, had escaped it, or maybe her parents had escaped it. And she said, this is what communism is all about. It's about creating this hatred for one another, whether it's, your own family members or, your teachers or people that you think are oppressing you. It's all about, so the fact that a daughter would turn on a mother and dox her in the name of being, woke and virtue signaling it's such a sad state of what's going on in this country.
Yeah, I know. She told me she was in the military. She was a hospital corpsman and corpsman, and she was a nurse out in California, and she got fired after 15 years because she got punched in the face.
I don't care what your politics is. It's The Godfather. You don't go against the family. That's just the number one rule in life. That's all you got at the end of the day. Not a smart move. Howie, I did want to touch on one other thing here. So you remember last week, Politico had Ben Shapiro write their newsletter?
Yes.
He decided to write about how the left is very afraid of differing views. And what happened? They freaked out that he wrote the newsletter, and they wanted to, cancel him, and they never wanted to see him write that again. So do you know who they had write the newsletter this week? Who their guest editor was?
Donna Brazile?
No. Arguably worse.
Worse than Donna Brazile? Joy Reid?
Nope.
Who?
I'm liking these guesses, though. Don Lemon.
Oh, man. I don't know if Don Lemon is worse than Joy Reid. They run neck and neck, I think.
Don Lemon, who last week had that unhinged segment about how if you're in the crowd who voted for Trump, if you voted for Trump, you voted for the person who the Klan supported. Remember that whole spiel he went on? That's who is now writing the newsletter. So Ben Shapiro's not okay, but Don Lemon.
How's that sexual harassment civil suit going for Don Lemon in New York?
I don't keep up with that.
Whether it was hijacking or terrorism or mechanical failure or pilot error, but what if it was something fully that we don't really understand? A lot of people have been asking about that, about black holes and on and on and on.
I wonder if we talked about that in the newsletter. We should look up the Politico playbook.
Do you remember, now that I think about it, remember when President Trump got all the grief about having 2 scoops of ice cream? Didn't Joe Biden say in that cut from Durham, North Carolina, that he had a scoop of vanilla and a scoop of chocolate? I think that adds up to 2 scoops.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he have been canceled for that?
I know what his favorite flavor is too, which makes me sad. I even know this information, but his favorite flavor of ice cream is chocolate chip ice cream.
Is it really?
Good taste. He has good taste in ice cream. I'm not going to lie to you, but at least it's not like peppermint stick. You know what I mean? Or worse, rum raisin. That wouldn't even surprise me because that's a very old man type of ice cream, but it's chocolate chip.
We just got to look at the playlist. We just got to look at the playlist. You know what Biden's favorite song is?
What?
Coal Miner's Daughter.
No, that's not on there, is it?
That came from a texter. I thought it was pretty good. Good work, 917.
One of the songs is Still the One. You're still the one. I think we're supposed to assume that that's him and Jill,
Ugh.
Yeah, no, I know.
Ugh.
Howie, take advantage of HelloFresh's New Year sale and get simple recipes and fresh pre-portioned ingredients delivered right to your door, contact-free. Right now, get 10 free meals, including free shipping, during HelloFresh's New Year sale with code Howie10 at HelloFresh.com. A lot of people are trying to get healthy because it is the new year. And a very easy way to get healthy is to have pre-proportioned meals that are delicious and are very easy to make. You don't get overwhelmed. You don't go, oh, I can't cook this. I'm just ordering a pizza. It's so easy that you'll cook it. You'll be excited to cook it. So that's code Howie10 at HelloFresh.com. Howie, Phil Spector has passed away. I don't know if you mentioned that already.
No, he will not be down for breakfast. The wall of sound, who ended up behind the big walls for the last 15 or so years of his life.
Okay, so he is the pioneer of rock music production. He died at age 81 in a California state prison. I'm not going to pretend I really know much about him, Howie. I am curious, though, about this whole murder thing. I mean, was that a big deal?
He went crazy. I mean, he was one of these guys who, had all this success at an early age, and he basically went insane. And I'm not even sure if it was drugs or not, or just general insanity. There's a good story about it today in the Blondie, the group Blondie.
Yeah.
She recalled visiting Spector in the 70s and being greeted with him holding a bottle of Diet Manischewitz wine in one hand and a loaded .45 automatic in the other. I didn't know there was such a thing as Diet Manischewitz.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't make light of it because the murder part of this sounds awful, but I really didn't know anything about this guy. And then I started reading about it and I was like, wow, this is wild. Spector had insisted that the actress's death was an accidental suicide. She was found shot dead in the foyer of his mansion in the hills of LA. Yeah. Yeah, he's
COVID-19 killed him, according to the California prison authority. So some of his songs, Da-Do Ron Ron, Be My Baby, He's a Rebel, You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
By the way, Howie, Rick Grinnell had something interesting to say today on Fox Business. He was talking about Susan Rice, and he thinks that Susan Rice is actually going to be kind of like the shadow president during this Biden administration, and he thinks people should keep their eyes out for some of her moves because she's going to be behind the scenes. She's tapped to do domestic policy, but he thinks she's going to have a lot to do with foreign policy as well. I just found that interesting because a lot of people think, that Kamala Harris is really the one who's going to be pulling the strings, or, we had one guy call into my show today and say Hillary Clinton. Some people think AOC, but Susan Rice is who Rick Grinnell thinks.
Susan Rice is smarter than any of the people you just mentioned.
I know, very true.
But she's also duplicitous as hell. Again, the thing that she will always be remembered for, at least in my book, and I think most of our listeners and viewers, is the fact that after the Benghazi attack, she went on 5 Chattering Skull shows on Sunday morning, all of them. And she spewed the lie that it was caused by that video on YouTube that was done by the Egyptian about Muhammad. It was total nonsense. And that was the order. Someone had to go on, and they wanted Hillary Clinton to go on. And Hillary Clinton realized she was smart enough to realize that was not going to be good for a political career to lie like that. For once in her life, she realized that. And she wouldn't do it. So they gave the assignment to Susan Wright, and she just lied with a plum, as they say.
Well, she'll probably fit very good in the Biden administration. I mean, they're not strangers to the lying game.
No, they are not.
Howie, I'll be back with hate mail a little bit later on, and I have some really good hate mail. This actually involves you and a baseball game. I don't even know if you remember this, but there's hate about it.
A baseball game?
Yep. Don't think too hard. We don't want any spoilers.
Throwing out a first pitch?
Nah. Don't want any spoilers here. We're going to keep it in suspense. Okay. Let's just say you were a little bit like Dr. Fauci.
Absolutely not.
Oh, let's just let that sit out there for a while. Okay, you can defend yourself later.
It was I threw a meatball into the catcher, but it did not bounce in front of the plate. It took a while for it to get to the plate, but it got there, and it was in the air all the way. All right, thank you, Grace. See you in a bit. Sticking to your New Year's resolution is a matter of making one right decision at a time. Whether you're trying to quit some bad habit or eat more healthy food. That's a traditional one, and or just take better care of yourself and do things that are good for your body and your mind. If you're looking to institute some healthy habits and improve your lifestyle overall this year, you got to check out Super Beets Heart Chews. These things are great. They're wrapped in foil. I don't have any right in front of me now because we've eaten them all here at the studio. I got a few more at home. I'll bring tomorrow to show you. But they're wrapped in foil. They look like candy. They taste like candy, but they're really good for you. They're not bad for you. They give you the cardiovascular support and they promote the heart healthy energy you need to chase your goals. Super Beets Heart Chews.
I've really come around to the chews, Howie. As everybody knows, when we first got Super Beets, it was in a powder form, and it was great. We liked it. It was tasty, but the chews make it so much more convenient to ingest and get your supplements that you need to promote heart health and cardiovascular health.
Right.
It's just great.
Sometimes you just don't feel like drinking 8 ounces of fluid, even if it's got some tasty thing like the Super Beets powder in it. But this is just, you just chew it.
You don't want to risk spilling powder all over the counter and things like that.
And then you got to clean the glass. You got to clean the spoon. You got to stir it up. And then there's always, this is just a lot easier. Just two Super Beets Heart Chews per day. That's all you need. Super Beets Heart Chews combine non-GMO beets and clinically researched grapeseed extract, which has been shown to be twice as effective at supporting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. When it comes to implementing healthy habits this year, adding Super Beets Heart Chews to your daily routine is an easy decision to make. And now you can get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Heart Chews plus a free 30-day supply of their new delicious flavor, Super Grapes, with your first purchase by going to superbeetsradio.com/Howie. That's 2 free gifts valued at over $50, only available at superbeetsradio.com/Howie. That's superbeetsradio.com/Howie. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show.